Hello and welcome to Nitrate. Today I'm going over my predictions and a few preferences for the Academy Awards. Starting with the categories everybody loves to see, the shorts. And that is nothing against the shorts. By any means, they deserve their awards too, most certainly. So starting with Best Live Action Short Film, I'm going with the prediction of Sing. It's about these school choir, short but sweet. Next, Best Documentary Short Subject, going with Joe's Violin. It's about a Holocaust survivor and the instrument. Straightforward. I think it'll probably be that one. If it's more important, seemingly, you can usually win, but again, all of these could be upset. And Best Animated Short Film, going with Piper as a cute animal. The ones with cute animals usually win. So on the animated idea, let's go to Best Animated Feature. This one is going to be close. I haven't seen My Life as a Zucchini and the Red Turtle. My preference would be Moana, but the choices are Kubo, Moana, and Zootopia. This one, Zootopia has won most things, but not all things. Kubo won the BAFTA, which sometimes can spell a upset in this category, so it's a close one. I'm predicting Zootopia, but Kubo and the Two Strings very well could win. Again, I prefer Moana one, but it doesn't seem like it's even in contention for it. For Best Foreign Language Film, I actually have seen The Salesman and Tony Erdmann. I thought The Salesman was great. Tony Erdmann, overly long, not that funny. Its whole intention was obvious, but yada, yada, yada. Most people love it, though. And that is a film that's been taking a lot of awards. The reason was this upset in Cannes because it didn't win. However, this is the Academy, not critics we're talking about, so I'm going to say it goes to The Salesman. Again, it's my own preference, so that could be blinding me a bit. Tony Erdmann very well could win, though, but I'm going with Salesman as my prediction. A Man Called Ove also watch out for, because it is also nominated for makeup, although that usually doesn't matter too much. Pan's Labyrinth got multiple nominations, but it lost foreign language film, just for example. So having multiple nominations for a foreign language film doesn't in no way guarantees that it'll win. Okay, up next is Best Documentary Feature. This is probably between OJ Made in America and the 13th. I'm going to say OJ Made in America. There is a slight, controversy around the film because it is so long, and most people probably saw it in episodes. Is how I saw it, and it is a great documentary. But it is broken up in that way. I don't think it really will matter. Other documentaries that are long have won in the past. They're making a little bit of it, but I don't think in the end it will matter. Because, hey, if you watched it in the episode, you'd still think it was great, too. And the whole thing is whether or not you feel it is a feature. And just because of that doesn't mean they'd go for the 13th either. So I'm going to say OJ takes the win. And the controversy over its, whether it's truly a film or not won't really matter. And on to the techs, as they are known, which we should say is kind of you got two minds of predicting this year. You're going to either say La La Land sweeps or it doesn't. So I'm going to give you the La La Land sleep prediction and the La La Land doesn't. But here's how they differ. I'll note each one. So original score, La La Land wins, no question. Justin Hurwitz score. So much of the film was based around that score, and it was a great score. It's going to win. There's no chance of an upset. La La Land wins best score. It would be my preference as well. Although Moonlight and Jackie both had great scores too. I don't know why Passengers was there for score. Not that it had a terrible score, but it was very middling. Best original song, City of Stars will win from La La Land. I myself would prefer if it was Audition from La La Land, but either way, La La Land will win. Can't Stop the Feeling was very generic sounding. I don't think that'll win. Trolls is like an afterthought. The Empty Chair is very much one of those completely out there noms, and it's not that good of a song, really. It's kind of an overdone ballad. And How Far I'll Go is very good for Moana, but I don't think it'll win because La La Land has the overarching momentum, so City of Stars, I predict, will be the winner, although, again, my preference would be Audition. Best Sound Editing, which you could technically define as the, kind of the additional sounds. Best Sound Editing, here's where it's tricky. Because usually it goes to a louder film, quite simply, with more obvious sounds. like a Hacksaw Ridge, a Deepwater Horizon, or Raya Sully. But if they're just checking down La La Land will win Best Sound Editing under the sweep rule. And I'm going to say the sweep rule is my overall predictions. But if La La Land doesn't sweep, it'll probably be Hacksaw Ridge, where war films tend to win Best Sound Editing. Badness Sound Mixing, La La Land, that's it, signed, sealed, and delivered. Musicals win sound mixing. If it's musical and sound mixing, it rarely loses. That's just they give it to La La Land because they like the idea of balancing all the sounds, because that's what sound mixing or the balance of sound basically, partially. Don't quote me on that too much, but anyways. La La Land will win Best Sound Mixing, sweep or no sweep. Best Production Design, La La Land will win Best Production Design, sweep or no sweep. And it deserves to. Every scene in the epilogue was just amazing looking. The observatory scene, such great movie magic, basically sets throughout. But that's not to mention anyone else. Arrival's got great minimalistic production design. Fantastic Beast was a great, switcheroo on the Harry Potter style, and Hail Caesar had those beautiful recreations of the old Hollywood style, but kind of in a new way. Passengers, again, I don't know why it's here. It's not terrible, but it's very standard sci-fi looking, and it did not need to be nominated. So, La La Land is my preference and my prediction, and that's sweep or no sweep. Best cinematography, La La Land again will win. I think sweep or no sweep. Outside chance for Lion because it won the cinematography guild, but that doesn't always carry over. Out of my preferences, all 5 of these nominees are great. La La Land is gorgeous, but my preference would be Silence for the I don't think there's a more beautiful film this year than Silence. Silence I would prefer to win, but La La Land will win, and it is also a great winner. Makeup and hairstyling, you got A Man Called Ove, Star Trek Beyond, and Suicide Squad. This usually is most makeup that wins, or if there's a very specific story and narrative they get behind one of the makeups. Star Trek Beyond will probably win. Outside chance Suicide Squad, outside chance A Man Called Ove, but Star Trek Beyond, it has the overarching, the J-Law character in Star Trek Beyond that's all makeup. I actually think, besides the makeup with the J-Law, the makeup for the villains looked almost Halloween mask-ish at times. But anyways, and my preference wouldn't be that. Suicide Squad is mixed as well. I haven't seen A Man Called Ove. So my preference, I guess, is Star Trek Beyond. I don't think either it or Suicide Squad are amazing. And I do think it will win, though. Star Trek Beyond. Okay, best costume design. Here is, again, one where if La La Land sweeps, it'll sweep as well. I've heard some people being sniffy about it. They don't know what costume design means, because costume design is how it is orchestrated throughout a scene, how every color goes together, and everything else is not just. And there are new costumes in it. Those dresses look great, but the way the 4-color dresses put together, every costume in the epilogue, helps to create the visual style of the film, and the costume design is pivotal in that. So those people are like, oh, it's not new. It is, but it's also when you take existing costumes and utilize them, that is key. So the interesting part is the alternate is probably Jackie for its also recreations of Jacqueline Kennedy's pink suits basically, and has impressive work as well. My preference actually would be Allied, which wasn't a great film, but those costumes were pretty amazing. And, all the nominees are very strong here, though. But La La Land will win if it's a sweep. Jackie, if no sweep. Okay, best visual effects. This one is easy. The Jungle Book is going to win. Unless there's that weird upset like there was last year when Ex Machina took it out of the blue and no one saw that coming. And I frankly couldn't tell you how it won. Not anything against Ex Machina's effects. Its effects were great, but I couldn't tell you how it won. Deepwater Horizon, Doctor Strange, Kubo and the Two Strange, Rogue One all have impressive effects to be sure. Jungle Book, though, has the most effects, and its effects are great, so there's nothing against visual effects. I'd probably go Doctor Strange. I love the whole city bending stuff. Anyways, all the visuals here are pretty great, although Rogue One has the fake Tarkin and stuff, but that kind of gets into the philosophy of what makes a great visual effect. Because those Princess Leia and Tarkin were top-of-the-line technology, but they didn't look that good. So it's kind of interesting how that goes. But anyways, Jungle Book will win, and my preference is Doctor Strange, but Jungle Book's great too. So either way, it's gonna be a fine winner, and Jungle Book will win. Best film editing, you got Arrival, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, La La Land, and Moonlight. La La Land will win, and I say probably sweep or no sweep. If it doesn't win editing, it'll probably go to Hacksaw Ridge for the war scenes, making them cohesive. All these nominees, though, are great choices. To be sure, though, La La Land, I think, will probably get it for the impressive way it cuts together the musical sequences, particularly how well the epilogue flows. But again, all these are well edited films. La La Land will win. My preference might be La La Land, actually, but again, these are all well edited films. So, La La Land preference. Choice, I say sweep or no sweep, but completely outside chance Hacksaw Ridge could take it. Okay, best adapted screenplay. Here is one you got Arrival, Fences, Hidden Figures, Lion, Moonlight. Fences is a hard one to really push, and that should be winning because you could completely feel that it was still of the stage. Powerful Material, yes, but in no way broke away from its stage backgrounds. It felt like they really didn't truly adapt it. Hidden Figures, a good kind of standard, inspirational take of this type of story. Lion, same deal. Arrival is actually, I think, the weakest aspect of that film is the screenplay. The main story of the personal story of Amy Adams' characters and how her viewpoint changes through the aliens is amazing. All this stuff involving government and the Michael Stuhlbarg's character feels very underdeveloped. And then there's Moonlight, which, that film, so much of it is the screenplay and creating the three sets of the main characters' identities through these three technically pretty short storylines, and each one that gives it to the way he develops his own personal identity. I think Moonlight takes it. Moonlight has the most nominations. Well, Arrival has more, but Moonlight has key nominations. Arrival has them too, but usually you won't find a sci-fi film when an adapted screenplay. So I'm going to say Moonlight takes it. Arrival, outside chance. Okay, best original screenplay. Hell or High Water, that'd be my preference. La La Land, The Lobster, not my preference. Manchester by the Sea, 20th Century Woman. If it sweeps, La La Land will take it. If it doesn't, Manchester by the Sea will probably take it. Completely outside chance, Hell or High Water. It did overperform a little bit with nominations, but I don't think it'll win. So it's all about how much they love La La Land. If they love it, La La Land. If they don't, Manchester by the Sea. Again, my overarching prediction is the La La Land sweep. So La La Land for the win. Preference, Hell or High Water. But again, Manchester by Sea will probably win. Supporting actress Viola Davis. That's it. She's going to win. That's all there is to it. All 5 of these nominees are pretty good. Naomi Harris, I thought, got a little hammy in her early scenes, but she knocked out that final scene out of the park. Nicole Kidman was great in her smaller, very supporting role. Octavia Spencer, I felt a little lazy. Janelle Monáe, I felt was better choice to choose from that film. Spencer was kind of doing her old thing. A good example of it, but old thing. And then Davis, though, she's going to win. I actually don't think she's lead, like some people are saying. Yes, she's the most important female character in the film, but it's all about Denzel Washington's Troy Maxon is the main character in that film. Viola Davis is going to win, though. It's a great performance, too. My preference actually is Nicole Kidman, but nevertheless, Davis will be a good winner, and she will win. No dark horse even there. It's Davis, period. Okay, supporting actor, Mahershala Ali, Jeff Bridges, Lucas Hedges, Dev Patel, Michael Shannon. This one is interesting. Mahershala Ali basically swept every prize until the Golden Globes, where he lost. He won SAG, but then he lost at BAFTA to Dev Patel, which says there is a weakness in his chances to win. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. If Academy embraces Moonlight, which they did in terms of nominations, Mahershala Ali will win, and it is a great performance. My preference is Jeff Bridges' performance overall, but Ali is great too. So I do think Ali will win, and again, great winner. I prefer Bridges, but Ali's just fine. Okay, actress Isabelle Huppert, Ruth Negga, Natalie Portman, Emma Stone, Meryl Streep. This is Stone's to lose. She got the BAFTAs, she got the SAG. That's all she needs. She will win it, and she's actually my preference as well. I think she was great in La La Land. And it's one of those type of performances that people like to hand wave that, oh, she's just playing herself. No, there is no playing oneself anyways. It's hard enough to get somebody to act natural in front of a camera. Emma Stone goes so much further with her performance, particularly in that audition scene, and her work is incredible. Outside of outside chances, outside, I really don't think it's going to happen, is Isabelle Huppert. Because if you've actually seen Elle as I have, that is a rough film to get through in terms of the themes it covers with and in terms of how her character is. Like, the way she would win. And because Elle doesn't seem like it's in the Academy's usual taste. The way Huppert would win is if they just voted her based on name recognition, and I don't think she has enough name recognition to win in the United States. Yes, she's a great international known actress, but I don't think every single Academy member might be aware of that. So Stone wins outside of outside chances. Huppert. Okay, best actor here is the 50-50 with a 0% outside chance, but whatever. We'll say 49 then. So 49, it's Casey Affleck. The other 49 is Denzel Washington. Washington won SAG, which is usually the most important precursor to actor, but Affleck basically won everything else. So it's going to be probably one or the other, and I could not tell you who it's going to be. My prediction is Denzel Washington. Affleck could easily win. Are they going to love Manchester? Nomination suggested, but maybe the overall Academy rejects it and they go Washington. There is some stories about Affleck's personal life that may cost him a few votes. It's hard to say. Washington could win, and here's the theory that I'm not going to predict because it's unlikely it'll happen. If it is enough of a race between Affleck and Washington, Ryan Gosling just has the outside of outside chances that he could win just purely based on overall La La Land win. Love. And by the way, that is not a diss at Ryan Gosling's performance. I actually think he's great as well and very underrated in the film. The dinner scene where he and Emma Stone go at it is such raw, vulnerable acting. The type that doesn't get credit because they're not yelling, but you completely feel how vulnerable they are in the moment. And it's a shame that that type of stuff usually doesn't get much credit, but he deserves it. So my prediction, Denzel Washington. It could just as easily be Affleck, though. And again, just outside of our chances, if it's a real race, Ryan Gosling could sneak in. I don't think that's going to happen, though. And that's the one person in my overarching predictions for La La Land that's going to lose. And, the second song technically loses too, but not really. Okay, Best Director, Damien Chazelle wins. Period. That's it. Over. He's my preference, too. Musical sequences were amazing. Although, strong work from Mel Gibson with Hacksaw Ridge. Those war scenes were incredible. Arrival, the highlight of the film was Villeneuve's direction. Barry Jenkins, great work from him as well. Lonergan Manchester by the Sea, I don't think was the best part of the film. It was a weaker point of it, actually. Lonergan, for example, he inserted that weird cameo of his where a bystander just talks and the camera follows the bystander. It's always going to become an important character. So yeah, he's got some weird choices. I personally would not have nominated him, especially over Martin Scorsese for Silence. But anyways, so prediction preference, La La Land. I really don't think there's any outside chance for anyone either. Damien Chazelle will win. He won the DJ. He won the BAFTA. He's gonna win. Say Best Picture. Okay, again, La La Land will win. It's just now there's people who are just hating on it. This happens with every Best Picture winner, though. Everyone. It doesn't matter how popular the film was before. No Country for Old Men was probably the last one that probably got by the easiest, but internet was still even expanding even more at that time. So people reactionary to the front runner is to hate the front runner. To maybe if you thought La La Land okay, a lot of people will now hate it because I hate La La Land. But La La Land's a great film. It's my preference out of these nominees to take the win, although I wouldn't mind Hell or High Water taking it. It won't, though, or Hacksaw Ridge or Arrival. They're all great. Fences is very good. Hidden Figures is very good. Lion's very good. Manchester by Sea I have problems with, but it is very good. Moonlight's very good. It's a strong lineup of Best Picture nominees. Any of them wouldn't be a bad film. Anyways, none of them are bad films, so they wouldn't be a truly bad winner. But La La Land will win and deserves to win. So those are my predictions. Again, I'm going with the La La Land sweep, except for Ryan Gosling in all the tech categories, and Emma Stone, of course. So I think La La Land will win. If it does that sweep, I'm claiming it will be the most rewarded film ever for the Academy Awards. That's what happened to the Golden Globes. If that type of mentality breaks out for La La Land in the night, that will happen. It could easily not, but sometimes the Academy will sweep, sometimes they don't. So if it sweeps, it could go all the way, except for Ryan Gosling, unless they really, really, truly love it. And again, there's a real race between Affleck and Denzel Washington, so there's the potential for the sneak in. But again, that one, it's hard to predict it. So La La Land for everything except Gosling, and La La Land will be a deserving winner in most categories, so I do not mind it taking the win. So those are my predictions for the Academy Awards. Thank you for listening.